Hey guys, I've decided to do a series of videos to really take you through the makeup process, or at least my makeup process. Get ready with Jenny. I feel like there's so many good videos out there, so many good makeup tutorials, but a lot of them are 40 minutes long, and I find myself fast forwarding and rewinding to get to the part that I'm really most interested in. So I thought, why not just do videos like that with kind of a step 1, 2, and 3. So this video is going to just be about the prep that I do before applying my makeup. Number 1, you want to start with a clean canvas. I'm fresh out of the shower. Got my fancy house coat on, I'm ready to go. Hands are clean. I know people are always talking about that, but it is hugely important to not be transferring germs and bacteria to your face. Something I've been doing recently is just keeping a bottle of alcohol right at my vanity. So if I've washed my hands, but maybe I touched my cell phone or something before I sat down at my vanity, I can literally just do a little spritz, rub my hands together, let them dry. It is drying to the skin, so I'm not going to recommend you're doing this, 24/7. But again, before I'm going to be rubbing anything directly on my face, I just want to make sure that I'm not going to be transferring any germs or bacteria that are going to make my skin break out. So number 1 step, if I haven't just washed my face, I'm going to clean it with either a wipe or micellar water. My favorite right now is the pink micellar water. I mean, everyone uses the Garnier Micellar Water. It's the best. I mean, I've tried different ones, but for the $6.99 you have to pay for this, it does a great job, and I haven't found it to break out my skin. In the pink color, I've heard other things about the other colors. So you're just gonna shake it up to mix it around, use a little cotton pad, and literally just go over your face to get anything that might be on there, including fuzzies from your towel, any leftover makeup or soap residue, anything to just make sure that you're really going to have a good application of your makeup. Another important part that I feel like people forget about is within all these steps, you really need to let them dry. So you're not going to go straight from micellar water into your face lotion. You're going to give it a second to dry. I don't know if you can see this. You probably can't. No, you can't. But it does have some fuzzies on there from my towel or whatever. So even though I'm freshly washed, I feel like that was a good step to take. I've stalled for a moment, so now that's dry, and I'm gonna go into my moisturizer. You could also do your serum before you did your moisturizer. I'm not currently doing a serum. I've been mixing a little bit of argan oil in with my foundation because it's so dry right now. But if you did a serum, that would be before your moisturizer. I'm using the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel. It's not incredibly moisturizing, but I have oily skin. So before I'm gonna go out for a night on the town and be putting a lot of makeup on my face, this is really good. It's gonna give me that hydration without creating an oil slick on my face. And with moisturizer, you really don't need a ton. I'm just gonna use like a little amount on my hands, and I go everywhere on my face. I've heard from a lot of different people that you have to be careful with the motions that you're using with your hands to make sure you're not rubbing too hard. And also when you're putting moisturizer on your neck, they say to always go up, because why would you want to push anything down, right? The world's doing that to us as is. So we're gonna get this rubbed in. I do it literally all over my face, nose, eyes. I put lotion everywhere, and then I just make sure to carefully go up on my neck, and then I'm gonna let that dry again as well. I have used a few different moisturizers, like I said, kind of talking about this, and for oily skin, this is really the best I've found. I would say you can't go wrong with this one, but if you don't have oily skin, I would think you would want something that's a little bit thicker, creamier. Again, this is a gel, so it's really gonna absorb and not create those oil problems. Another thing I like to do at the prep phase of my makeup is apply some sort of lip moisturizer. So this, I don't know how to pronounce it, Hanali lip treatment? I honestly don't know how to say that. But it's just like, it's like the Bite Agave lip mask. I would say it's close to that. If you just put this on your lips at the beginning of your makeup process, if you're going to be wearing lipstick, this is going to be hugely helpful to make sure your lips are not cracked or flaking once you're putting that color on. So I just put that on right at the beginning. You can also use a Q-tip to go over it and kind of rub it in, and what that's going to do is pull up any dead skin cells that are left on your lips that would create those lines and flakiness in your lipstick. So that's something great to do while your face is drying. And then from there, I'm going to go right into my primer. I have used so many primers. The Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, the Hourglass Primer, fan fave, I'm obsessed with this one. But right now, I'm using the Becca Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector. This one's really great for oily skin. I honestly thought there was nothing that would come before me and my Hourglass primer. But this has been great. Now, some mixed reviews on this is that it dries very quickly. For instance, I'm very cold. I'm in upstate New York, so I had like a little heater next to my vanity, and I literally would put this on my skin and it would dry. I couldn't even get it blended in. So one thing I would recommend is A, maybe not sit right next to a heater, and then B, you're going to want to just kind of do sections of your face. So whereas maybe with some other primers you're able to do your whole face evenly, I would recommend you kind of section it out. So again, you don't need a ton of this. Any primer that you're using, you don't need a ton of. I'm gonna start on my forehead. I have, you know, like a drop on, like a pea-size amount on my finger, and I'm just going to start rubbing that into my forehead. With primer, I do recommend you really rub that in, because the point is to kind of help fill in any pores, lines, and then set your face to be smooth for your makeup application. So I've done my forehead. I'm gonna move into my cheeks. Again, probably tugging a little more than people would recommend, but I have really bad pores and really oily skin, so I really want to get that worked in there. Another thing is I have bad smile lines, which I guess it's a good problem to have, but I want to make sure that I really work it in there. And onto my nose and chin, I put primer everywhere because I'm an oil slick. So once I've got it rubbed in section by section, again, you would want to let this dry. This one's quick drying, so you know, the time I'm done talking, it's good to go. But in some of them, like the Smashbox, I find that I need at least a minute before I'm gonna start putting anything else on. But that concludes my makeup prep daily. So it's really about that cleanse with the micellar water, toner, forgot to mention that toner could come after the micellar water, a serum if you do a serum, moisturizer, and then your primer. So for me, it's just going to be these 3 simple items to set my face beautifully. Thanks, guys.